Hello my dear students, welcome once again to Zenith Academy Online. Today we are going to cover a small but very important topic of grammar. It is auxiliaries. Auxiliaries are also called as anomalous or special verbs. Auxiliaries are a kind of verbs. In common language we call them helping verbs. These words may not be the main verbs in the sentence, but they are necessary for the completion of the sentence, and that is why they are called as helping verbs. Verbs that are used with the main verb to help give sentence more meaning. Without these words or without the auxiliaries, the meaning of the sentence would be incomplete or might not be conveyed completely. Let's get started and see what this is. An auxiliary verb is a verb that helps to form the mood, tenses or voices of other verbs. Now we all know that voices, that is active, passive, direct, indirect, all the kind of tenses or how a particular sentence is conveyed, that everything depends on the one part of speech, that is a verb. But verbs are divided into auxiliaries, modals, etc. because these are the words that actually describe what we are conveying or in which tense we are talking. There are 16 auxiliary verbs in English, out of which they are classified as primary auxiliaries. There are 3 primary auxiliary verbs, be, have and do, and they have different forms. For example, the different forms of the word be are am, is, are, was, were, being and been. These different words, different forms of be are used when we are transforming the sentence from one voice to another, when we are changing the tense of the sentence. Similarly, have, the 2 types or 3 types of have are has, had and having. The word have is mostly used while writing the sentence in the perfect tense. Do is of 2 other forms, does and did. The meaning are do, we are doing something, he did it, she hasn't done it, or doesn't she do it. Such words when we are writing, these are the types of the word do. The rest 13 words are the modal auxiliaries, and they are will, would, shall, should, can, could, may, might, must, ought, dare, need and used. Now how these words are used or how they function, we will see in the next part. Let's move ahead. The first part is functions of auxiliary verbs. Why these auxiliary verbs are used? First one, they are used to make the tenses. While using these words or different forms of the same auxiliary, we are able to write a particular sentence in the particular tense or change the tense of that sentence. They are used in short answers to avoid repetition. Like for example, have you done your homework? So the reply will be yes, I did. So instead of repeating the entire sentence, yes, I did my homework, I just say yes, I did. They are used to make questions or question tags. You are not ready. Are you? So that is a question tag. So are is a form of the primary auxiliary verb be, and it is used to make a question tag. Modal auxiliaries combine with infinitives to indicate certainty, obligation, possibilities, necessity, permission, ability, etc. We will study this in detail in the next part. Means while speaking English, we cannot create that mood just without these modal auxiliaries. These are the kind of moods, the possibility or ability of doing something. While we want to convey this to the listener, we use modal auxiliaries. Let's see this chart and study the primary auxiliaries with a few examples. The first one is be. We have already seen the different forms of the word be in the first slide. Here, first one, be is used to form tenses. We are able to change the tense of a sentence while using different forms of the word be. Like she is dancing. If I have to write this in the past tense, be becomes was. She was dancing. So is, was, were, these are the different forms of the word be. Second function of primary auxiliary be is to convey instruction or decision. First example, we are to be married next week. Now this is that I am conveying what my plan is or what my decision is. We are to be married next week. My brother is to meet me at the airport. Here is the primary auxiliary and it is one kind of form of the word be. The next one is have. Have is very important to form present and past perfect tenses. Without have, our perfect tenses are incomplete. We have seen the incident or accident. So we have seen, have is important. This is the present perfect tense. We had forgotten to take the umbrellas. This is the past perfect tense where have becomes had. Have is used to show compulsion or obligation. I had to go to Delhi. I had, it is a kind of compulsory situation. There was a situation where I had to go to Delhi. They had to leave the house. This is a kind of situation created where it was compulsory for them to leave the house. Now, mostly we use have plus had. Now, have plus had is used to complete or say some kind of work that I have already completed or some person has completed. I have had my breakfast. She have had her lunch. So these when have and had are combined together in the single sentence, it creates an emphasis on the work that is completed. The third one is do. Now do has different forms like did and does. It is used to form negatives, like when combined with not, we make sentences like she doesn't dance, I don't know the way, etc. To form interrogatives. Interrogatives means question sentences, question mark. Did she have lunch? Do you know the way to my house? So do, did and does, these are also used to form interrogative sentences. To avoid repetitions, as I said earlier, if I say have this sentence, did she have lunch? So I will just give the reply, yes, she did. Instead of repeating the entire sentence, yes, she had her lunch, I will just say, yes, she did. So this did, do and does are also used to avoid the repetition of entire set of words. Next is to create emphasis. For emphasis, I do want to marry her. Now I want to marry her is a simple sentence where I am conveying my feelings. But when I say I do want to marry her or I do want to go to the Oxford University, so there I am creating the emphasis, the urgency of doing that particular action. To emphasize request. Now when we have to request somebody for some particular work, we usually use the word do. Do go and meet her. If I remove do and say go and meet her, it sounds like a order and it sounds rude too. But to make emphasis on a polite way of request, we add do. To form question tags. He studies well, doesn't he? I had my lunch. I did my homework. Didn't I? So such question tags are made by using the different forms of the word do. So these are the basic and 3 primary auxiliaries with different forms, their functions and their examples. Please take a screenshot for quick review. Now let's move ahead to the modal auxiliaries. So we have in all 13 modal auxiliaries. Let's move ahead and see the functions and examples of them. The first one is can. Now can is used to show ability. I can speak English. So it shows my ability. It is also used to get or give permission. Can I go to the toilet? A usual question in the classrooms. Can I go to the toilet? So it is a kind of auxiliary used to ask permission. It is used to show the probability, where the probability of that particular work or action happening is 0%. It can't be Suzanne, she is in Paris. Now I am talking about something related to Suzanne, so I am saying that it cannot be Suzanne, she is in Paris. So here the probability of Suzanne doing that particular action is 0%. The next modal auxiliary is could. It is used to show the past ability. Now can is used in the present, could is used in the past. Past ability and past permission. Like she could speak Chinese when she was 5 years old. Here I am using can, I can speak English, but when I use could, it becomes I could speak English a few years back. So it is showing past ability. Past permission. She could go to the cinema. She could go to the cinema, but now she hasn't gone there. It shows the probability of around 30%, means that particular action or work might or might not happen. It could get much colder in January. Now we are talking about a probability that might or might not happen. It also shows request, offer or suggestion. For example, could I go to the toilet? Now here I am asking for request where the answer could be yes or no. I could lend you my dictionary. Now this is a kind of suggestion or offer. I could lend you my dictionary. Now next modal auxiliary is may, where the probability of that particular work or action happening is almost 50%. The answer may be yes or no from the listener. It may rain tomorrow. Now when I am saying it may rain, now this depends on the climatic conditions and weather. Now tomorrow morning when I wake up and I see it has not rained. So the probability is 50-50. It may rain, it might not. It is also used to ask permission. May I go to the cinema with you? We also use may I use the washroom. So the may is also used to ask permission in the more polite manner. Might. Might is used to convey probability of 30% or lesser. It might snow today. Now snowing is something that all the places don't receive. Rain is received more by certain places. So snowing is more lesser probability. It might snow today. Must. Now must is used when you are showing a kind of compulsion. The first is prohibition. You must not play with that, it's dangerous. You must not spit on the road. So when you use must with not or without not also, it shows a particular compulsion or prohibition. You must finish your work by evening. So here it is showing a particular deadline compulsion that you have to get your work done. Also, it is used to show the probability of 100%. The visitor must be Daniel. I have seen his car outside. Means you are expecting some visitor at your house, and when you hear the car sound or the bell ringing, you immediately say it must be that particular person. The visitor must be Daniel. So that is 100% probability. Next one is should. Should is used while you are giving advice. So you shouldn't smoke. It is bad for your teeth. You should brush your teeth twice a day. So these are the advice given. The listener may or may not accept your advice. The next one is will. Will is used to show prediction. When I am predicting of something that will happen in the future or near future. I think he will study harder this time. I will go to the party in evening. So will is predicting some action that will happen in the future. Next use of will is spontaneous decision. Means in a particular decision you take in a particular situation you take some decision spontaneously. There the modal auxiliary will is used. Oh, it is very cold in here. I will close the window. So such decisions are taken spontaneously, and here we will use the word will. This is the first part of modal auxiliaries. Please take a screenshot for quick review and reference for later. Yes, I hope you have taken the screenshot for further reference. Let's move ahead to the next set of modal auxiliaries. The next one is would. Would is used for polite request. Would you mind writing this address for me? So when you say write this address for me, so it sounds rude, but when you are asking for some help, we always have to be polite. So there modal auxiliary would is used. Wish. Would is also used to convey our wishes. I wish it would stop raining. I wish I could go out and play. So such, when you are describing or you are conveying your wishes, we use the modal auxiliary would. The next one is shall. Shall is used to offer or request. Shall I wait for you? Or shall you wait for me for some time? So this is also used for request and providing some kind of offer. The main use of shall is in future tense. Whenever you are saying something definite in the future tense, we use the word shall. I shall go to the Oxford University. I shall go to my mom's house in a few days. So this is an action that will take place in the future, and to convey that we use the modal auxiliary shall. Shall is used to order something. You shall not come to my party again. So this is an order. To show threat. He shall be punished. Or to show promise. You guys shall have a party. Means here I am promising my friends or a group of people for a party. The next modal auxiliary is ought. Although it is very rarely used, but it is used when we have to create emphasis in our language. First use of ought is to show strong probability. She ought to win the match. Here I am very much sure the probability of her winning the match is very high, and I am sure of that. So there I will use the I'll use the modal auxiliary ought. It is also used to show obligation. We ought to love and respect our parents. That is a kind of obligation we have towards our parents because they do a lot for us. So we ought to love them. Third function of ought is to show some work that is undone. They ought to have studied harder. Means they should have studied harder to get good results or to move towards higher classes. So here it shows that the work was undone. The hard work which they did was not done. The hard work wasn't done by them. So they ought to have studied harder. Next is dare. Now dare, the word itself conveys that it is to convey a challenge. Did he dare to find fault in my work? So that I am challenging, or if he is daring, so he is challenging and finding fault in my work. Next one is need. Now need is mostly used to show absence of a particular thing. Although the word need, the literal meaning of the word is show that I need something, but in sentences we usually use it as a modal auxiliary. When this word need is used, it is to show the absence. He need not go to the doctor now. You need not play for next 2-3 days. You need not continue the medicines now. So it is showing the discontinuation or absence of that particular action word or the action taking place. The last modal auxiliary is used. Used is mostly used along with the word to. It is used to show discontinued habit or discontinued routine. Means something that you were used to doing and now you are not doing. So the habit or your routine is discontinued. I used to smoke before my marriage. Now when I say this, it automatically implies that now I have stopped smoking. They used to wake up early in the morning. Now when I use used to, it says that I used to wake up earlier a few days or few months back, and now I do not wake up earlier. So this is the end of our modal auxiliaries. Please take a screenshot of this too. My dear students, I hope you have taken all the screenshots for quick reference in the future, and do write to us in our comment section for any doubts or any queries. Also stay tuned on our channel Zenith Academy Online for more interesting and easier learning techniques of grammar. Thank you very much.